Hey there, welcome to Explode Creative Photoshop Tutorials for Digital Painting. My name is Tane Richardson. Right about now, I'm going to show you what I consider to be the 6 best Photoshop shortcuts for digital painting. The first I want to show you is the quick eyedropper tool. Well, the quick eyedropper shortcut. And you know, if I wanted to pick out any color off this stage, you know the eyedropper tool, we'd have to go all the way over here, click the eyedropper tool, and then go back to our brush to be able to use it. But I don't want to do that, that's too much effort. So in CS5 and CS6, while you've got the brush tool selected, you can actually just hold the Alt key. And while you've got that down, you can just click any part of your stage and you'll pick that color out of it. And then straight back to the brush after you've let go of the Alt key. It's as easy as that, and I use it all the time, it's incredible. Moving along. The Arrange Layers shortcut is also very, very useful. So let's say I'm just going to make a little layer here, and I want to make a dark patch of grass, but I want to send that behind all the other grass, so it's not so obtrusive. Usually I'd have to go and, you know, find the layer of grass, pull that around and see if I can put it below that grass layer. But the problem is I don't know what that grass layer is called because I haven't named any of my layers. It's a nightmare in here. So the quick way to send this layer that I've got selected behind the other layers is Control left square bracket. And you can see in the layers panel that it's going down, 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 and down behind all the other layers. If I wanted to send it above the other layers, I could go Control right square bracket, which is sending it above, as you can see. But let's say I want to send all the way to the behind of the grass on that canvas. Left square bracket, Control, it's just all the way down here. Ah, man, this is just taking too long. It's cool, but it's just taking too long. So what I want to do, send it all the way to the back of the other layers and then send it up from there. It's a little bit quicker. And Control Shift left square bracket will do that. So if I hold Control Shift left square bracket, it's going to send it all the way to the bottom of the layers, and you can't see it because it's below everything. So I'm going to bring it above now with Control right bracket, going up, 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 and hey, there we go. We can see it just poking out behind the grass layers. That was a little bit quicker than dragging it around trying to find the right spot for it. The next shortcut I'd like to show you is quick, and you know, it's simple, but it comes in a lot of handy for some reason. I really like it. It's just deselect. Really, so let's say if you've got a selection here, and you know, it's so annoying because it doesn't let you paint outside of the selection. Ah, gosh, this selection, Newman. All you can do is just hold Control D, and that deselects your selection. And then you can paint anywhere you like. So sometimes you'll find like you've got a weird little selection somewhere and you can't see it, like it's so small you can't see it. And you go, yeah, I got the brush, I don't know why the brush isn't working. Just press Control D. Dollars to donuts, it's probably that damn selection, and you can start brushing again. The next shortcut is something that comes in handy, you know, sometimes. It's the transform to fit, really. It's, let's say you've got a really big stock image, you want to copy that, put it into a stage, and just paste it in here. Problem is, it's so big, you're going to have to free transform it. Control T is free transform, by the way, a shortcut. And usually, I used to have to do this all the time, is just go down all the way, see if I can free transform this thing. Forget that. The easiest way to do this is press Control T, get that free transform going on, and then you can press Control 0 to zoom out all the way to where all the you know, transform points are. So you can just go I'm holding Shift, by the way. Hold Shift while you're dragging your picture and it'll give you the same aspect ratio as the original image. Instead of, you know, accidentally stretching or horizontally, you know, stretching that image, you can hold Shift, same aspect ratio, drag it down, press Enter, and you've got your image nicely placed in the stage and sized up perfectly. The next shortcut I want to show you is something that just comes in an incredible amount of handy. I'm going to make a new layer here to show you. Let's say we've got the brush tool, and I want to size up my brush, and instead of going all the way over here and trying to mess with the size, I can just hit the left square bracket key our old friend there. And that'll give me left square bracket, brush size down, and right square bracket is brush size up, which is cool. Which is a really quick way of sizing up your brush. The other way of doing it, I know, is to Control Alt right click, which is really a weird way. I know a lot of people like this way because if you press Control Alt right click, you get this funny little thing that if you go left and right, that's the size of your brush, and if you go up and down, that's the hardness of your brush, which is cool. You know, I'll admit it's very cool, but I find it really weird and hard to control. So what I prefer to do is just use ye old right square bracket key and left square bracket key to size up and down my brush. But if I also wanted a shortcut to mess with the hardness of my brush, I could use shift left square bracket key, and that's going to make it not very hard at all. It's going to get a super soft brush. And right square bracket key with the shift held is going to give me the hardest brush possible. So it goes up in 25% increments. So let's say my brush is at its hardest right now. I'm going to press shift left square bracket key. It's going to get slightly soft. That's 75% soft. Shift left square bracket key. That's 50% soft. Shift left square bracket key. That's 25%. And shift left square bracket key is the softest you can get. So to the left is soft and to the right is hard. Brush hardness. So the next shortcut I want to show you, and I think it's one of the last, is the setting the brush opacity instead of the hardness on. Remember that funny little dialogue I showed you just before? Control Alt right click. If you're one of the people who kind of like this dialogue, where dragging upwards gives you the brush hardness and dragging left and right gives you the brush size. This is Control Alt right click again for your info. You know, I find that I use opacity more than brush hardness. Just because, I don't know, I like to do little subtle gradations in shadows and light and stuff like that. I would really much rather have opacity controlled by going up and down rather than brush hardness. Because I know I've got a shortcut for brush hardness anyway. That's the shift left square bracket key and the shift right square bracket key that I showed you just before. So for this Alt Control right click, I can actually tell Photoshop to use opacity instead of the brush hardness for this vertical scrolling here during the Control Alt right click. And to do that, we can go to Edit, Preferences, General. Let's bring that dialog over here. And just untick this little fella here. Vary round brush hardness based on hard vertical movement. Sheesh, a lot of blarney there, but okay. And now that I've got my brush selected, Alt Control, and of course as always, the left and right is the brush size, but now you can see the opacity changing depending on my brush movements. So down is more opacity and up is less opacity. Oh, I love this. I use it so much. It's great. Moving along. The last thing I want to show you, this is kind of a bonus, I guess, because it's technically the 7th. What I like to do when I'm painting is, well, I like to paint. But the thing is, sometimes I want a really quick way of getting into the color picker. I don't want to have to go down here and double click this foreground color thing. I want a shortcut for that. Unfortunately, Photoshop doesn't have a default shortcut for that, but we can tell it to make us a shortcut for us, which is great. So we go into Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts, bring that dialog over here, and you've probably got Application menu selected. Just go into Tools. We're going to scroll all the way down to find Foreground Picker Tool. Where are you? Foreground Color Picker, there he is. And right now it doesn't have a shortcut assigned to it. I'm gonna just set it as K. So that whenever I press the K key, you know, I don't know, what's the logic here? K for color. Whenever I press the K key, I'm gonna get the foreground color picker up, straight up, instead of having to go all the way over here and double click that. So let's say I'm just brushing around, doing my own thing, Oh, I want to change my color, press the K key, yes, here comes my color picker, I'm so fantastic, that's just fantastic, yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, thank you very much for watching this Photoshop tutorial. I hope you got something out of it, and let me know if I missed out any shortcuts that you really like to use. And give me some feedback in the comments, you know, any tutorials you want to see in the future for digital painting. It's all for you guys, it's all free, and yeah, I'd really like to hear some feedback, and subscribe to my channel if you like. Oh, that'd just be amazing, that'd make it all worthwhile if you did that, hit that little subscribe button. By the way, the music for the background of this tutorial was made by DJ Radio. It's a song called Shh, and you can see his profile on soundcloud.com/DJ-radio. And side note, you can head over to my website, explodecreative.com.au, for more Photoshop tutorials, free Photoshop brushes, and goodies. I'll see you there, and thank you very much for watching.